Alright guys, I'm gonna show you my groceries that I did today. Today I'm officially starting my cut. It's end of March. I believe by the end of June I'll be ready to go. Right now I'm about 17% body fat. I'm gonna make a separate video to track my body fat and how my cut is going. I have already calculated my macros. I prepared the meals mentally in my mind. I've done this before. I know exactly how to do it. I'm just going to walk you through some of my groceries now to see what's involved behind the scenes. Sometimes things seem easy, but one of the hardest parts is not actually the gym. It's actually, eating properly, because if you don't put that right nutrition in your body, you're actually not going to perform well in the gym. Especially during a cut, it gets even more difficult. Anyway, let me get started with the groceries and I'll talk to you more about what else is involved in the cut later. So I'll start with the veggies. Right here I have a bunch of frozen veggies and a bunch of fresh veggies. Some Brussels sprouts, snow pea beans. I have this medley here. That's a bunch of beans again. This green beans, and basically a bunch of other types of green beans. I also have more green beans because I like them, and some carrots and peppers that are frozen again, ready to go on a stir fry. So that's for my frozen and fresh veggies that I actually used to cook. Now I have another set of veggies that I really like, my micronutrients, as you can see, that I use in salads. So I have a set of these mixed cherry tomatoes here. Yellow, orangey, and reddish. Some chives. I really like chives. Cucumber, onions, and in the fridge I also have more peppers and tomatoes. I like to make some salads, so I mix it up. I have some other greens here, some fresh broccoli. All of this is organic. Some baby spinach, a mixed greens, and then some lettuce. So you would ask, why so many micronutrients? I really believe that micronutrients are an important part of a proper diet and regulating your hormones and all that stuff, and giving you the good amount of vitamins, especially zinc and all those minerals. And to be honest, they really protect your kidney from a high protein diet that you're really going when you're cutting. If you guys know about adjusting macros. If you don't, I'm gonna make a video soon about it. If you want, stay tuned, and I'll explain to you how important micronutrients are on a cut. And the best thing about veggies is that they're almost basically free. The calories on these things are basically nothing. Let me zoom in on this one. Probably you can see 25 calories for what? It's 1 1/4 of a cup. That's nothing. So you get a lot of quantity for nothing, really. Moving on to my fruits. On a cut, I really try to keep it simple. I have some frozen berries in the fridge. I don't have them here. I had a lot, so I didn't have to get. That's blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. So I use those because they're very low in calories. Some bananas. I really like my bananas. And bananas provide potassium, which is also very, very important for you on a cut. I don't want to go into the details now, so to avoid deviating. Some Pink Lady apples, and then I have some Fuji, and on the fridge I have some green apples, just simple green apples. I like to keep a variety. I eat about an apple or two a day, and that keeps me going, getting some good fiber. So moving on to the carbs, that's one of the other things that I like to keep simple. I stick to brown basmati rice and brown jasmine rice. These are like good, that's a good source of nutrition. Why I'm going brown, I'm not really trying to keep it clean. I just like the flavor. I generally like the flavor, and I like to combine rice with these sauces here. Some of them are like very low calorie. This is an Asian spicy peanut vinaigrette. Satay. Most of you that eat Thai probably know this one. Then I have some Mexican style ones. Salsas are really good because they're also non-existent in calories. Basically, one serving I think is like 0 calories or something, 10 calories. As you can see, the camera doesn't want to zoom. It's 10 calories, so that's nothing on a cut. Same with the chipotle and another one, double roasted salsa. And then I have some other things, you know, for the meats, but you can mix those things inside the veggies, especially the Thai like sauces. Just make sure they're low in calories, because if you get one that's like very high, you can get really high calorie ones, and you want to be careful about that. All right, going into my so that's it really for my carbs. I don't really do anything complicated. I might add some gnocchi later, some whole wheat gnocchi, but for now I'm good like that. Moving on into my proteins here. So one thing that you're not gonna see here, because I didn't buy it, I had already a lot, is chicken. It's the frosting there, sorry. You can see that I have some I have some chicken breast and I have some chicken thighs, boneless, USDA organic. For my other meat sources, I have some lean beef, 96.4. Guys, you have to pay attention to make sure you get the 96.4. If you get beef that's very high in fat, like the 80-20, it's not gonna work well in a cut. This is only 4 grams of fat, so you know, one serving is about 130 calories, and you're getting 21 grams of protein. So it's essentially protein with a little bit of good fat. You have to have a little bit of fat in your diet. That's also important to keep your hormones in balance. I also have these for a quick fix. I'm not really a big fan of these things, but sometimes you gotta do it, you know, when you have to get a quick meal. Turkey meatballs. The macros on these are pretty good. Only 4 grams of fat, 12 grams of protein, and 100 calories. So these, you know, they're not the best. Try to avoid them, but you know, they're pretty low in calories, and you can mix them up with salsas and, you know, whatever else you want. Some beans here, if you want. That's another bean source that I use a lot. Black beans. Sorry, that's a soup. I go to the wrong can, it seems like. I'm gonna have to go get some beans myself after. I just get plain beans. I must have picked up the wrong thing. Also, I have some cold cuts here. Quick source of protein. Turkey breast, roasted and smoked. And another one that's really important in my cuts that keeps me going is jerky. I have some beef jerky. That's my favorite. Buffalo jerky. And some salmon jerky. Wild salmon jerky. These are pretty good, and they're easy for a quick fix, and they would help you out, you know, on a cut when you want a snack and you have that, you know, craving. The macros on these things are really good. It's usually very low fat. This is like 1 gram of fat, and the rest is basically protein. Same with the other ones. The carbs are very low. They're like 5 or 10 grams, between 5 and 10 grams. Anyway, moving on to my protein sources. I have some fish. I really like fish, guys. Fish is really good. If you're a fan of it, included. This is some mahi fillets. It will make quite a bit. Some sockeye salmon, Alaskan cod. Make sure if you're gonna get cod, to get it from a water that's really clean, like the Alaska water. Try not to get any from, you know, some crazy place. Always look the source of your fish. And some wild caught tuna. Tuna is really good. You can't eat a lot of it, but it's really good for macros. As you can see, 26 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat. This is from Spain, actually, guys. So that's it for my frozen fish. Moving on, I have some other quick fixes. Again, these are to be avoided. If you can, you know, stick to the main protein sources. I have some salmon burgers here. The macros on these are also pretty good, actually. Let's see. It's 3 grams of fat and 15 grams of protein. It's not the best, but it's pretty good, as you can see. So instead of, you know, indulging in something bad, you just go ahead and eat one of those salmon burgers and you're good to go. And they also make mahi burgers, which these are actually pretty good in macros. And you know, you can have as many as you want because they're, as long as it fits your macros, they're pretty low in fat. I think they're like they're actually 5 grams. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember well. There was, I think it was cod burgers that I had found the other day that were really low in fat. So yeah, these mahi burgers, they're still not bad. The ratio is like 3-to-1, 5 grams of fat, 15 grams of protein. So it's still pretty good. You really want to be looking at a 4-to-1 ratio. So I have a bunch of those. And Going into my drinks, I have a bit of chamomile. I really like that. It's it's caffeine free. Chamomile has no caffeine in it. And a bit of pomegranate white tea. That's also very low caffeine. I try to stay away from caffeine because sometimes I take a pre-workout and that's already enough for me. I'm very sensitive to it. If you guys are not sensitive, go ahead and get, you know, the green teas or the black teas. I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine and I don't want to, you know, overdo it. And I have some organic liquid stevia. Stevia is really my go-to calorie-free sweetener in 2 forms. You can get it in a powder, you know, like spice-like way, or in liquids if you're adding it to tea. So that's it for me, guys. I'll see you again in another video. Sorry that was a bit long. I went into some details, but oh yeah, before I forget, that's a staple of mine. I ate one a day. Greek, it's 2% Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is superior in many ways to other yogurts. I'm not saying that because I'm Greek myself, but it's really, really good in flavor. It's only 4 grams of fat and the rest is 20 grams of protein. And you get, so the nutritional value of this is obviously that you get a lot of probiotics, living cultures that really help you with digestion, you know, and other things. So you get a little bit, it's a bit of a dairy source. I try to avoid dairy as much as I can, but the probiotic, you know, advantage, of course, you know, outperforms, it basically outweighs, you know, the dairy negative effects, in my opinion at least. So yeah, that's a good source of protein and a good way, you know, to get this good bacteria in your stomach. I prefer the 2%. I find the 0% doesn't have much flavor and it's only 4 grams of fat. I could easily fit that in my macros. Again, you know, it's all about, you know, fitting things into your macros. I usually have it with a little bit of honey in the morning after I get my protein shake, and that's really it. The difference in Greek yogurt, you know, just briefly, is that it's 10 times to 20 times strained over the traditional yogurt that you get, you know, in America or other places. That's why it's much more thick and it looks so consistent, like a cream instead of water. I actually don't really like the traditional yogurt. I mean, I grew up eating this, but I think I would still prefer the Greek version over the traditional yogurts. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be making soon another video on basically how to calculate your macros, how to adjust your gym schedule, and any other supplements that you should be taking before, you know, you start your cut. So if you like this video, please subscribe and like, and I'll see you later. Thank you.